Good morning. So today we're heading out to do a little strip tilling. So for those of you who may not know, we've been using strip till for, I think we bought our first strip tiller back in 2011. So we've been doing it a few years. The way we do it is we use all coulters, mainly for the bulk of our strip till. We do have a little, my brother bought an 8-row narrow strip till that has a shank to do some ends that might need a little more compaction, loosening up, and things like that. But the bulk of it, we use all coulters in our strip till system. So it's more of a vertical till system, and I'll show you it here coming up. We got this last year. It's a little bit different one than what we used before. We used the Orthman 1 trippers before, which were great. They had the shallow tillage attachment on them, which made them all coulters, because typically they come with shanks that till the ground instead of wavy coulters that kind of more till it. But this guy is one that we looked at because it has a little bit more adjustment from the cab. So it's hooked up to our 310R, 8R. First, don't want to forget this. Ah, wind. I thought it would never show up. So I guess I'll kind of show you it before I get started in the tractor. Because once I get in, hopefully I don't have to get up for a while. So it starts up here. We got our row cleaners. This will kind of shove that trash out of the way. This is an adjustment feature. These typically will come on planters. You know, they're precision, but it's a clean sweep. It's air adjust, and that's kind of nice because our older ones did not have that feature. You had to manually do it per row. And when you get 16, if you're starting to switch rows all the time, it gets a little hard to do. But the main coulter, or the inside one, this is a 3-coulter system. This is the wavy coulter that goes in the inside. These are just kind of depth wheels, make sure it doesn't go too deep. Then these are your outside tillage coulters. They're pitched in just a hair, so it'll kind of create a little mound system when you're done. Not much, but a little bit. And then these guys are kind of the clod busters, or firmers. They'll kind of firm it and bust any clods up that it may have, and hopefully creating a nice seed bed, because that's the biggest thing we want to do with this, is create a seed bed that might warm up a little quicker, and that also, you know, is just easier to plant into. As you can see, these are their height adjustment systems. You just pull these out. This back deal is air powered, so you can adjust it as well with air. It's the same on all 16, and this is just a little air compressor that it works off with. And then you also got your kind of downforce adjustment right here, which usually once you get it set, you don't really have to set it a lot, but it's there. Last year the ground was so hard we had to run these weights. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. We ended up taking them off this year because it just doesn't need it as much. It's double barred, so it's got plenty of weight in a typical year. It's just last year was not typical. This year our conditions are a little bit better. So I'll let this kind of warm up just a sec, and I can kind of show you just a few of the controls. This is the clean sweep control that adjusts. This is the clean sweep control that adjusts those row cleaners up and down. You just go down, up. It can actually lift them if you don't need to put much downforce, or it can crank it to the right. You put more downforce in. And this little guy is the one for that back clod buster, or whatever you call them. You can decrease, increase that, but typically once you get that set, we just kind of leave it, unless if for some reason it just doesn't look like it's doing the right job, but that one's probably not as critical as the row cleaners. Well, let's get started. So this is the pivot that has the big power line running down the center of it. It's got 2 pivots on each side, so kind of got to work around it a little bit. It's got, last night I got this west or east side done and quite a bit of the west side, but I just got this little bit left in the center because it was getting dark. I thought, well, that'd probably be something good to do during the day. Ain't nothing I can't handle, right? I don't like your confidence. Another thing I gotta do is, I've been using the implement, I can't remember what iTech stands for, but you can create multiple functions. So since we got a stock stumper on the front and the deal, I just want to push one button because I'm lazy, so I kick this on, go forward, and when I click this A down, it's gonna let my strip tiller down, and then it's gonna let my stock stompers for my front tires down as well. You know, that way I don't spend all day pulling levers like it's the 70s. We ain't got time for that. Can't figure out why my dad's and father-in-law's biceps are bigger than mine though. Just can't figure that out. One of my goals in life is to not hit that. I like to aim high. Not that high, but aim high. Aspire, aspirations high. Not high line, but high. I might put the camera down until I get done with this. For your safety. So you kind of see this ditch up here. We're running 16 row corn heads as well. And when we get to something like that, that's a pretty good bend for something like that, so we kind of have to contour plant those just so when we get there with the combine, we're still able to get most of the corn. Because unfortunately the corn heads don't flex quite like a strip tiller does or planter does through those. So that's when we come back and try to contour through those anyway. Hill farming, what are you gonna do? It's awful shadowy right now. Maybe I'll try to get a shot more towards midday where you can see better what kind of job it's doing, so maybe we'll pick you up there. Oh man, here comes the farming Nazi. Don't worry, that red light means it's not on. So I got my niece in the cab. We're trying to train her so I don't have to work as hard. So we'll use fake names to protect the innocent. So Larry.
Yeah.
How many years have you been strip tilling?
A month.
A month? That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
You took my job, so I'm happy for that. So this is the first day on the 16 row. She was on the 8 row the other day, and her dad has that. He's out doing some ends now. Yeah, so what's like your favorite thing about operating a tractor?
Probably, I don't know, just operating the tractor. It's pretty cool. I can brag to the guys that I know how to drive one and they don't.
I think she's rubbing that in my face, because I don't know how to drive a tractor. This is the only thing I know how to help future Farmers of America class, is to actually just have them do my work for me. So we're out here on another pivot from the one I started this morning. This one's actually probably a little steeper. It's a little more rough too, so we're not going quite as fast, which it's It's a good one to start her out on. Makes her learn how to speed up and slow down a lot more than like that. You didn't slow down fast enough. Slow down harder. So who's more strict, me or your dad?
My dad.
I'm the fun uncle, I guess. It's not hard, he's a little particular. So what other things should we make fun of your dad about, though, while he's not here? He's not gonna watch this anyway.
Yeah, no.
He thinks I'm an idiot.
He's a perfectionist, that's for sure.
He's the one that makes sure I'm doing it right, too.
He loves me, and he goes, I'm gonna go check and see if Rob's machine's running right.
There, it's not just me. It's her, too. I told you he was the farmin' Nazi. So I guess for a serious question, would you ever see yourself farming?
Yeah.
Keep taking on and off my glasses because I can't see and I can see.
You like Laurel Farms, man. You know who that is?
Who?
Laurel Farms.
Oh, yeah. She's the one with hundreds of thousands of followers. Well, should we go back to the farmin' Nazi?
Yeah.
Farmin' Hitler? We're just kidding, right? Right.
He's even out there right now. It's probably like...
He's looking at it. It's like, we'll just put that on his tombstone if he passes away, I guess. We'll just take him looking at the field.
Making sure we did a good job.
I think he did that spot, so it's his own fault. He said don't run into his pickup, though. It's his birthday today. It's really soft where it goes. This is the strip cap. This is the little 8-row we got. She was really good. I was bored, which is a good sign.